I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
Now Anthony Lynn, sensing the play clock running out, will call for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. A little juke. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers have taken a first quarter lead. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And now running right through it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. It's Jaleel Adai who brings him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
He's to the 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 12 more yards there and another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Give him 3 on the game there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Looking to throw. Prescott. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Now they'll pitch it out. This is Gordon. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger 1st down.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
A 1st down throw here for Rivers. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way, and boy, he can get hurt.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a toss right side. It's Gordon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Rivers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Donnie Jones now. Back deep is Tavon Austin. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Well, partner, as the Cowboys come back out here, I want to ask you to assess the season. The first couple months of the year for Dallas starting to look like they'd be sitting at home in January. Then the Amari Cooper trade comes. They breeze through November unbeaten, part of a 5-game winning streak. But then, a real head-scratcher, Week 15, they get shut out in Indianapolis.
You just wonder if all the wins that got them there, those 5, which were all tough, physical, hard-hitting battles, if it took a little bit out of them before they went on the road and lost Indianapolis in Week 15. But if they get to the playoffs, which it looks like they're going to, are they a threat to New Orleans? Are they a threat to Los Angeles? Are they a threat to Chicago? To me, they are only if it's a low-scoring, physical affair. That's when Dallas plays at its best, and that's what they'll have to do to reduce some of those high-flying teams like New Orleans and Los Angeles.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. First down, Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And got his man complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Prescott on 1st down. And that's Elliott, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Prescott from the gun. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Now Prescott, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, some news that gave us a chuckle, and we could all use that around the holiday season. Josh Johnson, a great story. He was back home in Oakland when the Redskins called to see if he'd like to join him for the remainder of the season. So how did he get to know his new teammates? Well, what did he do? He turned to the Madden game, Charles.
Yeah, and that's how you learn who they are, right? Learn what they do, have some tendencies, get some ideas about their speed and what they do well and maybe what they don't do so well. And it really helped him acclimate and got himself a big victory in Week 15 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. How about the bloodline of Josh Johnson, though? Also related to Marshawn Lynch of the Oakland Raiders and Marcus Peters of the Los Angeles Rams.
Pretty good company. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. This is Gordon on the dump off. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Charger 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Rivers. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Rivers going underneath for Gordon. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Anthony Lynn, sensing the play clock running out, will call for a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll throw again. Rivers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Here's Donnie Jones now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Austin. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And now here come the Cowboys. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Prescott. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime, intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now, as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Joey Bosa in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
2nd down, Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. This is brought in at the 21. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Rivers now on 2nd down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an
names for different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski.
Here we go.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Able to slither by. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A second down throw for Prescott. Completes it right side to Cooper. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Prescott. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back them up halfway. So that penalty will back them up half the distance to the goal line. And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Gordon. And he will try, but he can't. He can't escape the end zone. Gordon is taken down, and it's a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A first down throw for Prescott. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Arlington. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Right there, over here. Right there.
Prescott down. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brandon Mebane in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. Taken in at the 22. Ooh, with a juke. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers getting set to go. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Here's Rivers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Rivers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Rivers finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Let's go.
Second down, Rivers. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Rivers to Benjamin, good for the Charger 1st down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll look to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, nice move. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. The Chargers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Benjamin's got it. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. Spinning away. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, just go ahead and say it with me. That was
a mistake,
yes,
for sure.
Without a doubt, because at some point, put your foot in the ground, get upfield, and get down, protecting the ball. Don't go out of bounds, because when you go out of bounds, you're really just helping the defense.
Yeah, not to be too hyperbolic, but it's like giving the D an extra timeout, isn't it?
It certainly is. Gives them a chance to regroup, and it means you have to snap the ball an additional time, which always means the possibility of a mistake.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Here's Donnie Jones now. He's been terrific so far, averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. So they'll quickly now signal for the timeout. And it's definitely not looking good, but at least they'll have one final play to hope for that miracle and get them in the end zone. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. One last shot now for Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this